another dead squirrel. I find that between my potatoes and tomatoes, I have in planters in the side yard, and this year, thus far, it's like the fourth dead animal, and I'm like, is this witchcraft? What's with these dead animals? This one looks like it was dehydrated. So I didn't make a big fuss about it, but I did report that I'd seen it. And then the person asked me, well, what did you do with it? I said, I just left it there. I didn't birth any squirrels. Not my baby, not my child, not my squirrel. And I don't deal with that. I don't deal with dead stuff. I just don't. And somebody has to take care of this. Let this guy do that, right? So this guy is my brother. Because he was taking care of this stuff, he forgot when he left. He drove away because he was talking to my mom and his phone, and he forgot his ID when he left. So not far from our home, he reached the lights and he sees there's a police officer. She just drove up beside him, and he looked at her, she looked at him, the lights changed, and he advanced. He proceeded, that's what drivers do. But I don't know, she decided to follow and stop him. You know, the classic American tale, except this is in the Greater Toronto area, in Canada. And my black brother, he's on his way to work, where he's a business owner, and he's stopped by the police. So he's asking her why she's stopping him, and she says, "Oh, because you fit the description." You know, the classic cop out. That's where I get the impression that it's something they do. They teach them this kind of psychological effery, so that we just always in fear. Anytime we see them, we're gonna have make you think, what did I do? Like you didn't do anything. You did nothing wrong. But they're doing something very wrong by keeping this atmosphere of fear. Black people see the police see black people. Suddenly it's like, I never watched Game of Thrones, but the kind of vibe I got when I hear people make reference to it, that's the kind of thing I'm getting. It's like they've created a whole freaking atmosphere where people of our complexion can never have peace in this society. And you are still gathering and hating your own family members, your acquaintances, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers. You're just hating because you are upholding that freaking shitstorm that continues to F us up. So he's like, so you stop me. You stop me because she says you fit the description of someone I'm looking for. Now I'm thinking that bitch is probably looking for some black dick. That's what I think, okay? I may be wrong. I mentioned that to my mom. Maybe she wants a black man, and that's what she means, and she thinks she's funny. Haha, you fit the description of them. It's just what I'm looking for. It's morning, and I'm horny because I worked all night. I don't know, but... So, as he reaches for his ID, he says, you know what, actually... I just realized I just left home and left my ID at home, which is the truth. And she's like, in her mind, a likely story. She's not believing him, right? He says, yeah, I don't live far from here. And he tells her the street. He's so close to home, right? If she's doing that's her beat. She knows the area. She knows the street. So, not familiar with our address because we don't have police activity at our address. So we're not known to police. She asks, he says, I can tell you my name and I live at this address. And she's thinking, yeah, I guess she expected, him to say Leroy or Tyrone or Jaquan or Jordan or something like that. But he said a name that sounds like a white boy name. Another likely story, right? But no, that's his name. And it's like she didn't believe him. And right at that moment, the phone rang. And it was on speaker. And the person says, "Hello." White boy's name. He said the name of my brother. "Hello." And she heard. So it was confirmed. It's a confirmation that his name is his name. He is who he says he is. So whomever it is you're looking for, that's not him. Move along now, little white police officer, girl, woman, whatever you are, in this greater Toronto area where, who knows, crazy things are going on every day here. And speaking of which, now the dead squirrel, right? I'll tell the story. The dead squirrel was a result of, because I'm like, is this witchcraft? Why is there always a dead animal? And they always come to die. They come to die in the same spot. Between my two planters, the two pots where I'm growing bitter melon, I'm growing tomatoes, potatoes, and tomatoes. I have 4 planters. They always curl up and die between the two in the middle. I was thinking it's witchcraft. My mother says, "No, Adela. The man told me, but I don't want to believe." So I never retained that knowledge. The Indian neighbor has taken to poisoning the wildlife. Specifically, in his attic, there are the squirrels. And he wants to, so he traps them and he poisons them. And I didn't want to believe him when he told me. Because who does that? Well, he does that. They are going into his attic and he doesn't want them there, so he puts poison. But I said, that's not going to stop. I thought Indians are supposed to be smart, smarter than black people. Mind you, I am a black Indian, but we're not disregarded. We are pushed into the African pile, the hyphenated African American, African Dominican, African Jamaican, African Canadian. No, we actually have Indian roots, but that's another story. This man doesn't want the squirrels coming into his attic. We have this similar problem. We have raccoons, which I think are even worse than squirrels. But we don't deal with raccoons by poisoning them or trapping them. This guy there was a trap in the same area of the yard. A trap with a squirrel in it. And I was like, I thought, hey, again, so who's doing voodoo here? No, it was that Indian menace over there. He does not understand. Listen, you're going to wipe out a lot of the squirrels around here by poisoning the ones that go into, because different ones are going into your attic, sir. Why don't you reinforce, plug the hole, pay a little money and do something so they don't have entry into your attic? That's what we did here. Or we ensure that they don't return. We flash the bright lights. We put the peppery stuff, cayenne. By the way, ever since I mentioned that we are in the garden using cayenne pepper, suddenly cayenne pepper is off the market. I'm just saying. Have you been looking for cayenne pepper and not been finding it? Because we used to have cayenne pepper in abundance on the shelves. And I've been to 4 or 5 different shops. And I see no cayenne pepper. Shops, man. So the Indian man killing the wildlife. But he didn't just arrive. He's not newly arrived migrant, refugee, immigrant. No. He's been here for like 50 years, 50. Yes. So this is his manner of population control. No, it's not. It's not. He wants them to not be in his attic. So you're gonna wipe all the squirrels out? Because, sir, that's crazy what you're doing. And what the hell? And then they don't die on your property. They come and die here. And I got to deal with this shit. A decay. The last time, the one in the trap, I started to notice flies. I said, why are these flies here? And I followed. I said, oh my God, why is there a trap under the van? And what is this fly? And I said, oh shit. maggots just start coming. And oh my God, what are these people doing here in Canada? He's been here long enough. He's Canadian. Indian, but he's Canadian. Why are they doing this stuff here? So I said, I'm not handling this. Again, my brother had to deal with it. Okay, my brother don't do a lot of stuff here, but when it comes to handling dead animals, he has to damn well do it, because I'm not doing it. And he flung it in the field. And he keeps flinging these dead carcasses of these animals in the field. That's, I guess, better than in my freaking garden. Good heavens. So, yeah, the police was what I was talking about, though. She stopped him. Said he was who she was looking for. He fit the description. Guys, police, y'all have to stop that. You are terrorizing, traumatizing black people. And I'm telling the black people, just be mindful. They are placing you in trauma bond. Societally, we are being trauma bound to these law enforcement officers. We see them in the street. We are supposed, our heart, just like they're trying to unalive us in various ways. This is one of many ways. Be aware. So when the police stop you and talk this shit about you fit the description, it's bullshit. She probably and that's another thing. My brother had a cap on, baseball cap. I personally don't care for baseball caps. If you're not a baseball player, a fan at the game, and they were going around with a baseball cap. Oh, I know. They're trying to hide their baldness. Whatever. So what the baseball cap does to the black man is it makes him look a lot younger than his age. Just saying. Anyway, I'm Domina Della Pie, Mistress Asher Storm. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. I am bringing a little more lightheartedness into this mess that they are creating for us. We never asked for any of this. WEF, WHO, NIH, UNESCO. Never a straight answer. NASA. No, sir. Don't do it, sir. Please stop, sir. No, they're not. What is a sir? What does sir mean, right? Officer. Stop harassing her. Don't harass me. Don't harass us. Don't harass him. I don't know. You all have to stop that. Don't you? Isn't it supposed to be a new world order? Shouldn't a new world mean that the shit that we went through for how many hundreds of years that it's got to stop? I believe so, sir. I believe it's in order that this be stopped right now. Stop harassing black people in the street. It's this. My brother left around 8 o'clock. We have a teacher next door. She leaves for the school 8 o'clock. He leave 8 o'clock. Bit delayed because of a dead squirrel. And I don't know. The teacher, her husband is poisoning squirrels. What teacher? Teacher, you cannot tell her husband, stop doing this. Because, sir, the best way to handle this, if you want squirrels to stop coming into your attic, secure the area they enter. Plug the hole. Pay somebody. Let them crawl in there and stuff it. Do what needs to be done. Then you have no more squirrels. Instead of your method, they're going to keep coming, sir. Let's have a brain that functions according to the racists, the white pseudo-supremacists. They say that. The East Asian brain is the biggest, heaviest brain, and thus they are superior, followed by the European brain. Not as large or heavy as the East Asian, but it's the next in line, and thus they are a little bit low beneath the East Asian, but they are followed by the South Asian, who are brown. He actually used the word brown, man, talking about the Indians, the brown. So the brown Asians are not as intelligent as the East Asians and not as intelligent as the Caucasians, but they are certainly smarter than the African, who is relegated to menial manual tasks such as slavery. Because as they told me in history class, that The first to be enslaved were the Indians, but they were dying like flies in the heat of the tropical sun. They could not withstand the heat and the hard labor because they are weak physically, and thus it was considered, let us use the Africans as slaves because the Africans are black. They can withstand the sun. The Indians are as black as the Africans. Get out of there with this nonsense. Yes, but the Africans have a musculature. They are tough and strong, and they can withstand the hard labor in the sun. And thus, they will be perpetually slaves. Our slaves, because us, the Europeans, we have soft bodies. We need steroids to build our musculature. The African has it occurring naturally. Anyway, I'm Dominadella Pie, Mystery Sasha Storm. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. And what am I? Mixed. They make it so, be careful. All of you thinking that this race mixing is cute and your mixed children are cute. First of all, your mixed children take the side of massa. The mixed children generally side with the oppressor. Okay? Because, they've already been brainwashed. That's what's happening. And I really need y'all to think. How you're going to think is to first turn off the TV. The TV is the biggest waste of... You see, my mama watch TV. She's in her 80s. She's a senior, right? That's the only people who should be allowed to watch TV. Anybody who is under the age of 70 should not watch TV. Thank you and good day.